What's going on, YouTube? It's Q back here again with another video for you. In today's video, I'm here to mark my 3-month anniversary with the 2024 Mazda Miata, and this is the Grand Touring. So take a look at this beauty. Through my new camera lens, I had this one when I first started vlogging, ended up changing a lot of camera lenses, but this is about the car. So I got the Grand Touring. This is the more luxurious one for the United States. Shout out to Canada because they get the one with the sport options on it, but this is the best we could do. This is the best one for me, in my honest opinions. Check out the review of the clubs that I did. I did the RF club and the club with the soft top, but the GT is the one I purchased. It's the first one that was available. I have no regrets. This is the one for me because I drive this one mostly every day. So grab you a snack, relax before we get into this review. But before I do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, browse the channel. Let's jump into it. So if you've been with the channel for any amount of time, you know that I be car shopping and car hopping, but I think this Miata is finally the one. After the 20-something, almost 30 cars that I have purchased, this is the car that I think that I want to settle down with for quite some time. So it does so many things right, minus being practical. If this car was practical, this would be the greatest car of all time. Mazda, y'all need to make a 4-door. What a Mazda 6 at with that inline 6? But this Mazda Miata does so many things right. They really dialed into it. For the enthusiasts, it is such a joy to drive, and it's somewhat comfortable too. It's very comfortable, although tight. If you're tall, you're not going to enjoy it. But these 3 months has been quite astounding for me. We got over 2,300 miles on it already. I'm going to schedule me an oil change soon because I need to get the metal shavings out of the new engine on here. The power plant has been pretty good to me. It's not slow by any means. Super lightweight. The wheels, they're not that. I like the wheels. What have I done as far as modifications go? I have window tint, 35% on the sides and the rear. Windshield, 55%. What other mods do I have on here? Oh, how could I forget? My Guardian design steering wheel. So this is it was well worth it. So it's going to add a lot more bolstering. Why don't I get outside the car? Why am I doing this to myself? So this is going to add so much more bolstering, and I never get the right sunlight when I need to do this. But you can see I got the green in the background here. Got the purple center line. I got purple stitching on here. This is just such a fire steering wheel. The bolstering makes it much better, much more enjoyable to drive because the stock steering wheel was rather narrow. What else I got going on the interior? Well, shout out to my buddy Jeff. He sent me this padded armrest. So this thing is a very welcome modification. So from what I heard, I just installed this like an hour ago, so I haven't even really noticed it. But this gives a whole lot more cushion than the stock one, and I'll show you guys the stock one in a minute. But basically, I have to take the center console out, and on the bottom it's a couple screws. Boom, boom. Slide all of this stuff off. Take this off. Shift knob. It only took like 15 minutes once I figured out how to get this little boot off. It was a little hook. On the ND3s, there's a hook. On the ND2s and possibly ND1s, there's a different mechanism. But yeah, I didn't record it. But this is going to make driving much better. Because one of my gripes with driving this car, I would always like hit this button. Like when my music's playing, I would hit this button on the knob. But with this being elevated, much more padded than the other one, I shouldn't have that because my arm is going to go right on over this multi-function controller and right over to the shift knob. So this would be much better, and it's so much softer too. This should have came with something like this, and it has the matching stitching as well. From what I'm told, these are always on back order. Forgot the name of it, sorry. But if you can get this with like red stitching and orange stitching to match the 30-year anniversary, but it's not gonna match the stock stitching with this silver grayish type of stitching on here. So if you want one of these, it's most likely back ordered. So huge shout out to Jeff because he had a Miata, took it off, and then he ordered another ND3 Miata coming soon. He also gave me another mod, and I really like to thank you, Jeff, man. That was like one of the nicest things anybody has ever done. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. That made my day. And he also gave me one of the first things I noticed, this stubby antenna right here. So that literally, you just screw it on, screw it off, makes it look much better. Why can the stock antenna be like this? I have no idea. That's wild that it has such a long antenna on such a modern car. Also, another mod, I had to get my exhaust. I need a little bit of growl. Got the Goodwin Racing exhaust. This is the race exhaust. Sounds much better than stock. I like it. I can be heard, so this car is pretty quiet. When I didn't have the exhaust, I can hear the engine more, but now that I have this exhaust, it drowns out the engine noise. Both sound good, but I prefer my exhaust sound. Let's do a comparison. The stubby antenna versus the stock antenna. You see this. This is like 4 times bigger, maybe 3, but why do I need that much antenna? But I don't even listen to the radio anyway, or Sirius XM, which I think maybe that antenna is the GPS. I don't know if they combine it with Sirius XM. Other manufacturers, they combine all of them into one antenna. Not sure why Mazda did the due diligence to get 2 of these things. I don't know, that's wild. And this is that stock armrest. So it's got 4 screws on the bottom that you take loose. But look how thin this is, and the cushion on it is like barely anything. This is like leather maybe with a layer of foam underneath. Now just comparing the two, because with this one in, it'll sit flush, but with the new one, I get like an extra couple inches of pad, which is, just look at it, man. So much nicer. But yeah, huge shout out to Jeff for the 3rd or 4th time. Gonna make a great mod. This one don't even got stitching in the middle, so this aftermarket one. And it does look like the armrest is the stitching is a little frayed, very minor, but it's still well worth it. I don't even know how much those cost, maybe $135. I don't know, somebody drop a comment, let me know. My future plans with the Miata. I'm out here old man, I got the jorts on. Hey, showing my age now. But future plans, I just need to drive it more, to be honest. I haven't driven it on track, and normally I drive on the track in May and around November, but this year I had stuff going on. I could not make it to the track in May. And the track that I normally go to in November, that's where I want to take the Integra. But I might have to take this, or I might have to squeeze in another track day. This car is just too fun to never have taken it to a track. That being said, I'm kind of to the point where I want to do a suspension modification. I'm at the point where I want to feel like no roll at all. Today, that's how I was feeling. It might change tomorrow, but I'm thinking about some kind of suspension mods. I know people do the sway bars, but I've done sway bars before on the Ford Fusion, 6-speed manual Ford Fusion, and I couldn't tell a huge difference. I'd rather get lower in springs. At least it's going to be more aerodynamic. It's going to look cooler. I don't scrape at all already, so I should be fine, and I can feel the difference. So I might just do lowering springs. Coilovers, I don't know. Drop a comment, whichever coilovers. I'm mainly a street guy. I don't really care for track that much. I like the track, but I'm not a serious track guy. So Öhlins, I don't want to break the bank to get some suspension mods that I'm not going to utilize the coilovers for. So drop a comment, let me know what kind of springs that most people don't really buy more than one pair of springs. If you bought more than one pair of springs, let me know which one you thought was best. Because most people go with what they have, like, yeah, I got this, it's the best. But have you tried something else? I don't know, but that's what I want to try, some kind of suspension. I might wait till next year, but we'll see. We'll see what we're going to do here. So, of course, the mod that I'm going to do with most of my cars that make it through the winter time, I got to get winter tires. And I'll probably put those winter tires on these stock wheels. So that way next year I can get a different set of wheels, something maybe bronze or even gold to stand out, make it stand out just a little bit more, kind of accessorize it. But that's kind of what I want to do from here. Just make it look better, look cooler, just make it more to my liking. It's already fun to drive. What else do I need that's even more? A heavier shift knob, maybe one of those. But that's where we are at the 3-month mark. Totally loving the car. I just wish I found one of these cars sooner. I still would have sold it, most likely, because I'd be having that itch. Now that I've driven a lot of cars at this point now, shout out to all the manufacturers that have been sending me cars, and shout out to me for buying all these cars. Spending a ton of money on this, but it's well worth it. It's fun. It's a hobby to me. But yeah, now I know what I like. I like this Miata a whole lot. So that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you got a question, drop a comment. Let me know. We'll discuss that later. But with that being said, I'm Q, checking out of here. Bugs are flying around me, so it's definitely time to go. Y'all drive safe out there, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.